All right, people, here's what's going on. Y'all let me know what the audio sounds like because I needed to be wireless for this. And this second version, well, the second mic was not pairing right. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's driving me crazy. I just give up. So we're going to work off of one and hope that it works. If not, we're in trouble because my DJI and my other Rode are upstairs. So we're going to make it. We're going to make it work some kind of way. Some kind of way. Anyway, let's get this started. I got something cool to show you, and it's kind of huge, and I have to like re-magnify my whole office in order to attempt to make this work. So hopefully we're able to do it. But yeah, it will be hella interesting if we can make it work. All right, so let me check something here. What? What do you mean I'm being quiet today? How's it sound? Can you guys hear or what? Because if not, then we're gonna have to do it differently. Um, yeah, it's gonna suck balls, and I can't use my headphones right now because I need space to move. So, just checking, just checking. Boom. How is the audio? It says it looks okay. And then what? I had one more thing I was fixing to look for. Oh, I know what I wanted to try. All right, so let's do this. All right, I'm getting thumbs up. Oh yeah, of course it's left there only because I'm using the. You know what I mean? Yes. Um, I don't really wanna mix this, but maybe that. I mean, that kind of sticks it in the middle. Yeah, when you have your microphones are not stereo, okay? So let's just come to that understanding that microphones are not stereo, all right? So I just did what's called a mono mix to force it to the middle. Uh, I normally don't do that, not a fan of it, but yeah, microphones are not stereo. So it's funny, you can buy stereo mics, they're a whole different breed. All right, let me do this real quick. Oh, oh, Vicky already knows what's going down. All right, so that's cool. Good to hear that. All right, let's see. Are you going to work now? Oh, you don't want to work. Why don't you want to work? Let me try something else. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Activate it and then back to Vegas. That'll make the difference. Oh, actually cancel that. Do that. That will work. Ha ha. Now we are cooking with Pam. Yes. Now we're cooking with Pam. Yes. Ha ha. Okay. We got gold. We've got gold. All right. I just needed to get that right. Let's do this. Um, so, oh, this box is big. I got this at Podcast Movement, and then I shipped it to myself, but I didn't want to open it and, do all the work until I got you guys here. And of course, FedEx cannot send anything without at least one drop, like they're Bob Marley or something. I have no idea why they insist on constantly dropping stuff, but you can see I got a dent right here in the corner. Luckily, this thing is probably overpacked. But feel it with the one drop. All right, so this is a Mackie. Ow, that hurt. Hold on. I just want to bring my level up so I can see what I'm telling you. Make sure you guys can hear good. And this box is probably helping make it louder because the mic is right here. This is a Mackie DLZ Creator, And of course, the first question everybody always does is, well, what have you compared to the Rodecaster Pro? Listen, I kind of, initial first thoughts is, I hate those comparisons. Why can't things, see, that's what she said, Louise. Why can't things just stand on their own feet? Like, why must human beings always insist on trying to compare something? And I get it, I fully understand, but like it drives me crazy. Like I tend to not do that automatically. I like to let devices speak for themselves. They're similar, but they're different. Let's just leave it at that. They're absolutely similar and they're absolutely different. It's not apple or oranges. It's not even Mac or PC. It's different. It's just different. Okay. One of the things, the target audience for the DLZ Creator is beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Okay. I think the this could be just me, the target audience for the Rodecaster Pro would be beginners and intermediate. Advanced if you're willing to do some work to make it do what you want it to do. So maybe, just a guess, Mackie has been making, people that know audio gear, no audio gear. Mackie's been in the game for well over 30 years. They've been around for a hot minute. As a matter of fact, my first ever USB mic was a Mackie. My first studio speakers were Mackie. And then I did tons of Mackie mixers for setting up, you know, events or putting sound systems in people's offices where I thought they would be able to handle it. So yeah, Mackie's been in the game for a hot minute. I think what they did though is maybe something similar to Sony. Maybe they had no intentions on making this, but after seeing the success of the Rodecaster Pro and then the Zoom and then the Tascam, they started. I do know that before the new Rodecaster Pro 2 came out and the Duo came out, they were already working on this because this is about 2.5 to 3 years worth of, hey, podcast movement, how you doing? Oh, Natsakashi. That's a Japanese word for, wow, nostalgia. Oh, look, I even hit a book in here. When I shipped it back, it like stuff I didn't want to put in my suitcase. All right, so it has some software plugins that you can download. It comes with that. Then let's see, it has a README card. Before you start making content, make sure you download this. Okay, so that's a firmware download. Let me keep that nearby because we always want to update firmwares. And then, of course, it comes with Le Manuel, which is very good. Already makes it different from its contemporary due to the fact that it comes with a manual. And then power cord, which I kind of just stuck in the box. Oh, I should have put the Afro back on the top of this mic. And then that. All right, so let me move this out the way. Yeah, it's just one of those things where if you already have an RCP or an RCP2, do you need to go out and buy something new? No. So just let that out of your head. Um, however, however, I did get to play with this extensively at Podcast Movement, and I gotta say it's kind of sick. It's kind of sick. It's kind of sick. I like the gigantic data sheet that it comes with, so that you can get yourself together. So before I set this up, let me hip you to the data sheet and try to make it make sense. Again, this will be really good because of two things that I remember from Podcast Movement, which I just fell in love with, is the auto mix agent. Hey, why are you making sound? Why did my phone just decide to automatically start playing a YouTube video? Anyway, the auto mix agent, which is pretty incredible, and Um, there was one other thing. Why did my brain just go dumb? See, the thing just messed up my whole thought process. Anyway, so let me get this plastic bag out the way. And a humongous packet of do not eats. Completely missed the trash can. Yes, the big screen, Michelle. That was one of the stunners for me, is the massive screen. The screen is bigger than most folks' tablet. And I gotta say, that, my friend, is pretty dope. So let me show you how much embiggen this is. It's actually not too heavy. It is big, but it's not heavy. Has a lot of computing going on because look, there's cooling holes in the back. So there's definitely cooling holes to the back. And yeah, I'm gonna agree with Vicky, man. Having that gigantic screen is just absolutely money. Sorry, I'm weird. Spray the rag, not the device. It had a couple of leftover fingerprints from podcast movement people touching it. So I got the show model that was there, but I'm cool with that. All right. So anyway, you have big 1-inch faders, very similar. I forgot how big these are. These are a little smaller, but you got big 1-inch faders. Your buttons for your mutes and your sends are at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pads. There's 6 on the Duo, 8 on the Big Daddy. And then instead of a knob to control your volume out, you have an actual fader for that. You have individual controls, which you'll see in a second, and then auto mix, which is dope, recording. The other thing that this has in the back, you'll see the Ethernet right here. It's the first NDI compatible mixer. Okay, everybody drink. I said that word. You got your Nutrix connectors, which means you can do 1/4 inch and XLR. Please use XLR. You have your 1/4 inch line in. You got your 1/4 inch for speakers, and you got 1/4 inch for headphones. You got room for a second computer. Oh, wow. You even have a phone jack in directly here. So second computer, phone jack in, NDI, Ethernet, and you have the USB that talks to the computer. Okay? And then the power socket and the SD card socket. You can do the you can do the second PC by NDI, Vicky. I looked it up. Oh, snap. The wire that I was going to plug this into the Ethernet with, I can't. Uh-oh, Reggie. Hold on, I got to think. Because I was going to plug. See, Sammy, I just said not to do that. Damn it. I was going to plug this into the network using a cable that I'm currently using to rock the overhead camera. Anyway, so let me look at this real quick. I'll come up with a solution in my head while we do this. So it has, this is crazy. The preamps on this bad boy are 80 dB. 80 dB, fam. You know what that means? No need to lift anything. You won't need a cloud lifter or some other mic preamp because this has 80 dB preamps. Sure, SM7Bs are gold out the gate. I keep hitting this by accident. Sorry. You do have your stereo line ins. I'm teasing, Sammy. I'm just saying everybody's automatically going to do that. And I don't know why everyone does that. I actually think it's kind of a cheap shot. I think devices should be able to live on their own without being constantly compared to something when you can't really compare them apples for apples, because normally no two devices are exactly enough that you can compare that, but we just can't help do it. And will I probably make a video comparing this versus the Rodecaster Pro 2? Of course, because I'm not stupid. But it's a lazy comparison. Anyway, has headphone outs. I showed you that. Has a TRS input, the USB-C port. The oh, actually, another thing, Vic, you probably picked up on, the Ethernet jack will, in a firmware update, allow us to stream directly out of this. So you theoretically could take your podcast and stream it live to some particular place and have it already land on your podcast host as a live stream. You got your USB connector in the back that allows you to connect flash drives or SSDs, and you can record directly to SSDs. And then, of course, there's the SSD slot. All right, so let me plug this bad boy in. Ooh, baby love. Normally, let me take this. Ooh, how did you turn that on? That is dumb. That is dumb. All right. Yes, Paul? Oh, sorry. That's the family asking me weird crap. Normally, when I get a text in the middle of the show, it's Paul. Yo, what's cracking, Renee? All right, so let's fire this bad boy up. This is a dumb thing, but I actually like it. It has a rocker switch for power. And that just means, like your light switch, click up, click down, as opposed to wait for pressing a button and waiting for it to load. All right, so as you can see, it's booticating. You know what I forgot to do? I didn't think about this. I should have told Rob at Mackie to just reset this to factory for me so you guys can watch the setup process. But I'm gonna hit factory reset right now because I want it to be like what you see when you get it. Okay, so let me switch to this camera. Nope. Hopefully this will work. Ooh. Just moving crap out the way. This big packet of do not eats is incredible. Okay, so this, and when I initially set this, is going to be upside down, but we know this. Give me a second. I'm going to flip it in your eCam. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Oh, wrong camera. Stoops. You would figure you've done this a couple million few times there, boss man. All right. that looks round about the best. And can I zoom it out? No. Move the Stream Deck out the way, which I just accidentally pressed. All right, that's better. We're gonna do semi-sideways picture maybe. All right, I'm gonna just set it up so you guys can see screen first. Let's go from here. All right, so my focus is a tad bit off. That should do it. Okay, so you can see now you have the 3 modes. I would definitely do that. So you have the 3 modes. You got easy mode, enhanced mode, and the pro mode, right? So we're gonna start with easy mode because that's what most people are probably gonna do. So you're gonna go ahead and hit next. It tells you that the set assistant will connect and help you set up your headphones, your microphones, and other devices. Before we start, move all the mixers to Unity, right? All the mixers, all the faders. So on a mixer, there's these little thick lines right here, all the way across. That's your Unity gain. What I really like about this mixer is there's cracks in the slider so that you can see where you're doing. Okay, so that's about right on all of them. You could cheat and use like a ruler or a book or something to even them up, but they're all set to Unity gain. I'm gonna hit next. It says connect up to 4 pairs of headphones. Let me grab a phone. Sure. Nobody make fun of my headphones, but I'm gonna grab a rabbit ears. And these actually have the smaller connector. So of course that means I need to dig out my adapter for it, which might be buried in my backpack. But let me see if I have one on hand in this little drawer. If not, I got additional headphones. I got headphones all over the place. I got headphones brand new in the box. Of course, I like to keep all of my adapters in the go bag, and that's all good until a time exactly like now where you wish you had it. Brains, 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 brains. Brains. Oh, you dummy. Here we're gonna do. We're gonna cheat. I got it. I know how to cheat. This one. Yes. All right. This is how we do it. Bam. We got it. In the building. All right. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna roll to the back. We're gonna look at the headphone Jizac and we're gonna put in 1. Gangster. All right. So I did that. And then it's going to say headphone setup. Put your headphones on and adjust the volume knobs. Ooh, man. See, I like that. It sounds crazy because, again, someone who knows what they're doing, you're going to know to do this automatically, but maybe someone who's new to this, they're not going to know all of that. So it's telling me to play with these knobs. And what's happening is it's actually playing a little bit of a music piece in my head right now. So I can use that to set my headphone volume. And I kind of like it at about negative. I kind of like it at about negative 2, 3. There you go. So super dope. It's legit playing a sound directly in my head. And you know this because I'm probably yelling right now as it's playing that. Anyway, super cool. So I do that. And so this is cool too because this process is so easy. What that means that you could probably do is if you're doing a live recording with 4 people and you're going to reset this up, then you can re-blanket, do the setup in the place with the people that you're going to record with because it's going to auto set things up for you. So this would come in handy for someone like Katie, who Ken and Glenn will move her knobs, and then when she's ready to do her podcast, she's all screwed up. But this is actually kind of better. So anyway, inputs 1 through 4 can accept microphone signals via XLR cable, line or instrument signals 3 via the 1/4-inch cable. Okay, so we're going to select import source 1, connect source to input 1, and select the closest match from the list. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab, let me see, I should put these buttons back on the Stream Deck that I moved. I'm going to grab a pod mic USB, and then I'm going to grab a USB cable because that's how. Why he say USB cable? God Lord, that boy not right. This is an XLR cable, people. Pod mic USB. I mean, this is the pod mic USB, but I'm going to do it via the XLR cable. So I'm going to pull that out the back. I'm going to plug in the XLR. I'm going to loose this baby here. Now, as we set this up, and although these instructions are the instructions according to this particular Mackie DLZ, this should be, wow, Rode, you factory sent XLR cable not properly wrapped over under. I'm gonna yell at somebody. We won't have that over under conversation right now. But I think it's really cool that, again, as I set this up, and I am doing this according to this particular mixer, the information will be valuable to anyone setting up any mixer because these are some of the same steps that you should do. And what happens, even for us quote unquote professionals, is we'll get to the place and we'll just start messing with it the way it was at the studio, and it's not the same. Sometimes it's actually easier, and we used to do this for gigs on the digital mixers, is factory reset them suckers before you set it up. And also when we used to pack analog mixers, we used to put all of the sliders and things back to their normal position, because when you go to do a gig, trying to figure out that one missing button that's misset on like a 64 channel mixer. Yeah, so it's a good habit to reset and set it up from the beginning. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to this. I'm going to plug this into my situation number 1. Okay, it's in there. And then following the instructions on the screen, it says to select from this particular setup. I am going to go with dynamic mic. Now I'm going to speak in it, and it's going to set up some auto levels. So let me do, I'm going to set this up first, and then I'll plug it into the computer and let you guys hear what it sounds like. But you can see what it's doing right here is it's automatically selecting my input level. Of course, as you might know, if you don't, I'll remind you, the dynamic microphones do not need that 48-volt phantom if I turn that on. This Rode mic probably won't get ruined, but some microphones will get ruined if you do that, right? So here's a button called listen and setup for me. So I am going to find a piece of text and read it and have it auto set up. Now, the important thing to do, if you are going to do this, is put the microphone at the distance you would normally talk, and then read me. Before you start making amazing content, please update your DLZ Creator firmware. Head over to Mackie.com/DLZ Creator to download. Okay, so you'll see before, if I remember correctly, the input level was at like 40 something. And now that I told it to listen me and set for me, it's actually changed that and made it hotter. Okay, I'm actually going to back it back down because right now I'm blasting my own ears out. But you can see where the green line has adjusted. So it has made some adjustments for me. That's cool. That's part of the auto mix level. I'm going to go to this next phase and we're going to skip input 2, 3 for now and 4. And then we're going to set up 5 and 10. So you can do a line or USB audio if you wish. You can also set this up for a auxiliary or USB audio or Bluetooth or disc because you can play sounds directly from the disc. So what I'm going to do is set 5 and 6 to USB audio. I'm going to set 7 and 8 also to USB audio, and then I'm going to set 9 and 10 to Bluetooth. Okay, if you have any additional devices, send and receive USB audio, connect your computer to the USB-C port, and select DLZ Creator as your audio device. So let me grab a long cable. It's right here in the back of the Mini. Oi, come out. All right. So we got our cable. Seems long enough. Going to make a mess of this, I know. Plug it to the computer real quick. And then the back of this guy, plug it right to the old doohickey. All right, tap focus on that again. And then let's go next. If you want to connect the Bluetooth device like the phone, we'll put that in Bluetooth pairing mode. So here's a phone. Go into Bluetooth pairing mode. And you'll see DLZ Creator. There's no good angle, sorry. There's the DLZ Creator. And so it made a little noise. So now that it's connected to that, it says connected to Murasaki. That's my phone. It means purple. Make sure the volume of the connected device is turned up past 80. Okay, we did that. I'm going to go next. And then I have my sample pads. So you can add your audio there. We'll deal with that later. And then I won't do speakers right now. We'll do that later as well. The setup is complete. So there was how simple it is to get this guy set up. You'll begin taking a tour, right? So we hit next. And it's going to show you the navigation bar across the top. You got overview, channel, media, snapshots. That's how you save your shows, samples, and then the setup button. Down here in the channel selector, you got mic, 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 mic. You got your input audio that I have coming in. You can select this. I have it set up for USB and that's for Bluetooth. And then you can see your quick control displays here on the side. These are your quick controls, these little knobs down here on the side. And then you have your physical hardware buttons, which is home, record, and auto mix. And then you have your samples, so you can see what your samples are loaded directly on the mix. You can see their names. You can store up to 24 samples in there, and then you kick it back to your overview tab. Then there's your channel tab, right? This is your media tab. Again, it allows playback of audio files that are stored on the SD card or USB disk, or any files recorded by the mixer. You can record directly in the mixer, by the way. You can actually run samples directly in the mixer as well. You have your snapshots tab, and that's just so you can remember your parameters and recall them as you need it. And then this is where you store your samples or your sound effects. And of course, your settings tab. Okay, and at the top, it kind of lets you know the status of the SD card, USB, and Bluetooth. And then that's it. So we finished that. Now, before we go any further, let's follow the instructions and run the firmware update. So let me put this over here and then do Mackie.com DLZ Creator. Alrighty, so there's that. And of course, what's really funny is I am still talking to you. I'm talking into this mic, but I'm really using this little one on my neck. It is kind of hilarious to me right now. So we're gonna. There's new firmware features. We scroll it down. It says that the new firmware is coming soon, but I believe I can download the current firmware. Oh, where do I want to get the current firmware? Let's do this. Drivers and downloads. Uh, let's go. Is it under mixers? Maybe not. It might be under recording interface. Oh, it's there. And then firmware update. Okay. So to move that zip file, it's coming down to my computer at this moment. It's almost downloaded it. All right, I'm going to open the zip file. Okay, sure. Place a flash drive or USB card in the correct slot of the computer. Let me grab a drive. See, Picky was right. Having Millie over here on the side, where I just got all my stuff in this drawer, it's a game changer. It makes life so much easier. Let's see, flash drive right here. I mean, actually, that's not going to work. It's micro. Let me do another thing. Man, where's thumb drive? Where you at? I got like so many of them, but I never use them because I do everything with micro USB. I mean, micro SD, brain cells. If I was me and I wanted to steal a micro SD out of something, what would I steal it out of? Oh, I know. He's stupid. Do I have one in the Roadcaster? Let me do that. What do you say, June? Wait, come here. Come here. Okay, got it. Got it. Don't make me come down there. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh, family. Hold on. Hold on. You guys were laughing. You saw what I just did. I just stuck the micro SD into the full size hole because I wasn't looking. It almost went into the cow digit. Okay. Oi. There we go. So that's in there. Let me pull back the instructs. I think all you do is just copy it over there. Download the latest firmware update, blah, 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 over that. Confirm the unzip file. Drag the UPD to the micro SD card. All right, cool. Paul and June, both of y'all, shut it. So let me drag this over. It seems a little strange dragging over a firmware for the Mackie onto the Roadcaster Pro. Anyway, so place the flash drive into the slot of the DLZ and power it up. All right, cool. So turn off this. Again, something super dope about it just being a simple rocker switch and not like hold it for 90 seconds to boot down. But there is a safety to, hold it for 3 seconds, boot down. It wasn't 90. I was just clowning. And why do I keep putting the SM7B there? It's not even on. Anyway, so just so you guys can see, if I go to here and then plug this in the little SD slot, shut up. It's a full size slot. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. I was like, oh, that would have been better. Okay, so you put that there. Power cord, stay over here. All right, so it's in. We just power it up. That's funny, George. That's funny. All right, it's doing a thing. Boom. Does that mean it automatically took the firmware update? It made a noise when it booted up. All right. So, oh, really cool. We did that setup in easy mode. We can easily switch it to enhanced mode. I have the setup assistant turned off. You can see there's more changes here, or I can switch it to pro mode. You know what I'm saying? So at any given time, you can jump out of one of the modes to get to a higher mode. Now you also notice that there's little bit different settings that happen on the side buttons when you do that. But what's cool is, look, I can control the brightness of the screen with a simple knob. I think that's incred. You can change the brightness of the buttons with a simple knob. So you can get it however you want it. And you know me, I'm gonna just do my 88s. Don't ask me why. For this, I better leave that at 100. But yeah, anyway, super cool how that's set up. Um, again, we go through your samples. Let me switch over to it so that we can start tweaking this microphone now that we got it all set up. Headphones out the way. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with plugging it in to the Ethernet BIC just due to the fact that I have no clue where where another cable is right now. I have to go to the back, and I don't want to do that. So let me pop in a little me. There he is. Yay. All right. And then let's come over here. Boom. At this point in time, you guys are listening to the Mackie DLZ Creator, and the mic is treated with whatever the easy setup did. I don't like it because I can hear the noise gate pumping. I hate pumping noise gates. I know some of you guys enjoy that mess, but me don't. So anyway, I can go into my channel setup here. I got it set for dynamic. I can change the icon custom colors like Bicky was saying. So let's just pick perps. You know what it is, right? I can go in here and change the channel name from channel 1 to whatever. So for instance, I can go PODMIC, right? And then I can bypass the processing if I want. And so now you're hearing the mic totally naked without any of the processing on, which is kind of nasty, but it's there, right? And then I can go into microphone setup. So you see, I already have that. And I have my input levels kind of set as it is. Go to next. And then that's basically setting up a mic. I can turn the rest of these down because I don't need them. Or you can automatically just like mute all of these because I don't need them. These are just for additional mics. I can go over here to the media tab if I want to add something to the USB. And then I'm going to hit on my settings though. And then you'll see, again, I have it set for easy. I can go into my Bluetooth. If I want to adjust things here, I can go into my recording and routing. So you can see that I have the computer coming in stereo. I can set up multi-track for my musician people. Same thing with recording to the disc, record a stereo, but I'll set it to multi-track because if I forget to do this and then I send stuff to Luis later, he's going to complain like a little bitch. And then again, I want all of these recordings to leave processing alone. I want to leave it there. Actually, in this case, I'm going to leave the processing on. If I want to turn the processing off so that, Luis can have a raw file, that's what I would do. Then I'll leave my post fader. That means whatever gets recorded, or I'm sorry, whatever gets sent to the USB would be the information after I've adjusted it here. In this particular case, this is good. So I'll turn that on. And then auto editing, auto ducking is great for if you have a bunch of people on and you're going to have the music, like it'll automatically move and stuff. I'm not going to do that. But then you can also set up one tap record, in which case I'll probably leave that off. And then, of course, the next would take us to the about screen. And then it's all good. What do you mean I messed it up? I didn't do anything. What are you blaming me for? All right, so I'm going to go back to here and you'll see in this particular mode, that's it. Like, there's not enough stuff to scare anyone and drive them crazy. You would just select your auto mix and turn it on. And you'll see on the side here, I have priorities for the mic. So I would want my mic to be high priority. If I had another person talking that's like a co-host, you can set them to a medium priority. And what will happen, it will automatically mute their mic when it's not their turn, but it will level up their mic when it is their turn. And if two people start talking, like try to talk over each other, you can set it so that one person is the higher, right? And oh, that's too funny, Paul. So then you can rock the auto mix. I'll turn that off for a second. All right. And then we're gonna go out of the auto mix switch and we'll just go to the home button, which is here. If I were to press record, that's going to do that. And now it's ready to record. The disc is not readable because I need to format that. Okay. I'm going to take this out and put it into pro mode for a second so I can see more stuff. Right? You know what I mean? Now you got an SD card. I'm going to format it. Oh man, I did have some recordings on that SD card. Oops. Oops, there it is. Oops, there. All right, so now it's formatted. Vicky said to press the media button so you can select, what's there if you want to play something. I'm gonna go back to this for a second. I'm gonna take this SD card back out now because something tells me that, ooh, the way we did this just now, something tells me that when I recorded, when I moved the firmware, it might not have taken if it didn't like the format of the card. So now that I've reformatted the card, I'm gonna try the firmware thing again just to make sure it took. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, because they might record differently. Ooh, why would you put that there? Uh-oh, Raggy. I hate when this happens. All right, let me take this disc out. And then put the SD card back. And I'm gonna switch this back to my other mic because when I flip it on and off, it will go silence. Uh, Paul said, "What do you see when you click about?" Nothing. It would probably be over here. Nope. Nope. I just. Oh, okay. Vicky said another thing, but now switch to the other mic. I can flip this off and flip it back on and see if it catches. I will say the the type of plastic this is does pick up fingerprints, which will drive me batty. But I do like the angle of this screen. The angle of the screen is good. That even though I am sitting mad crooked and across from it, and because it's so huge, I can see everything on the screen like really, really well. Now I just came up and said bigga jabang, and we're gonna go next. It kept all of the settings. But yeah, you're right, Paul. I don't see where it tells me what firmware. Oh, I got it. It says 1605 2023, build 49. We'll just look at a PDF and see if that's right. 1 second. Yeah, it looks right. It looks right. We can always like double check it later, but it does look right. So we'll call that a day. Version 1.1 is due soon, but that's cool. Anyway, so let's go back to our channels, right? And then now we're looking at the mic. You'll see, yeah, same here, June. I think that's awesome. You'll see that the way this is set up, and let me see if I can adjust this a little bit more for you guys. I have the ability to pan. I have reverb sends, which I can crank up. You're not going to hear anything right now because I don't have the reverb turned on. But you can also control it with the knob to get, whatever level of accuracy that you wish. If I need to pan the right, left, or mic left or right. And sometimes we used to do that. We used to get really bad mic bleed. We would record one person left solid and one person right solid, and it was easier to like remove all of the trouble in there. But now you can see on the mic, I have this EQs, right? So I can take this high pass filter. That's a notch. Let me select the high pass. Ooh, check this out. So I'm going to use this high pass filter, and more I'm going to begin to sound like freaking Timberland. Oh, you guys can't hear that. Hold on. He's stupid. He's stupid. Let me put it back. Let me put it back. Let me put it back. Let me switch over. Hold on. Okay, now you have it. So let me kill this built-in preset and let's go for flat. Hey, flat. Okay. And so that's there. Nope. Why is it not going flat? Load is to load something from a card. Oh no, I guess that works. Okay, so that's basically music. And that's basically flat. All right, there we go. There's flat. Okay, so watch this EQ knob here. So this is my high pass filter. If I turn it on, and then as I roll this across, you're going to see what's happening to my voice. I start to sound like Timberland because I'm taking some of that low out of my voice, and now I put it all the way back. And then so now I could go here. So if you live in a place where you have like a little rumble, for most people it's going to be in the 90s. So, like 99%, that will take some of that bass out. I like to leave mine there. I'm going to set it at like 83. And then I can come over to my next frequency here and I can adjust this. But not only can I adjust it left and right to find all my close off, I can actually start to pick some of that up, or I can notch it all the way down. And so I can move this around to adjust. A lot of people have a lot of noise over here in this 1K frequency, and it's kind of cute. So you can hear how horrible that sounds. A lot of times in your house, you have noises roughly around in this 1K frequency. So you can just notch that down a little bit, and that's going to give you a thing. And then here's your brightness. So if you have an overly dark mic, you can brighten that up. And as you see, I can pull that down. So I'm probably somewhere around here, just knowing what I know. And again, I can adjust the gain of that particular frequency and I can move it. So if I'm looking at it something like I use for my Final Cut, and I know that somewhere in around in the 4K is where I want to give myself a little bit of boost because my voice is lower to make it easier for me to hear. Easier for you guys to hear. I can go in and do that. So that's kind of cool. I'm gonna pick this one back up just a little bit. That's a little too far down. And then I'm gonna mellow this out because I am a little boomy. So I'm gonna go deeper on the boom and then less on the pump. All right. So now you're there, right? Now you're there. This is super dope. Let's go over to the noise gate because this is mad aggressive. When you see that yellow line, that tells you that the gate is enabled. So that is like dead silent, but it's a wee bit aggressive for me. So I can adjust. Let's make it hyper aggressive. So if I come over here now, I'm barely breaking through the noise gate as I go. But if I come over here, it's a little less aggressive and you get a little less pumping. Yeah, see, now you get a little less pumping. You also have the range selector here, so you can make adjustments here on like where you want your range to kind of pick up. You have your hold, how long you want it to hold, right? Let's make that a little skinnier. You can even adjust your release, and then you can crank your threshold. And now this noise gate isn't as aggressive. It's a little bit closer to the way I would do it, but it's still negating my breath. I got to push really hard to get a breath to come out, you know? So being able to adjust that attack and release so you could have a decent noise gate, but you don't have that obnoxious noise gate pumping. Now I hit my compressor. I can adjust the smoothness of my compression curve. I can take the compressor out to turn the compressor on. We have some basically compressor compensations over here. So guess what the 7B comp is for? Anybody want to guess what the 7B comp is for? Uh, how many microphones have the word 7B in it? So super interesting there. They actually have a model to give you closer to an SM7B sound. Again, you have all of your controls for your threshold, your ratio, gain, attack. I normally do my compression at around 2.8 to 1. I'll just do 2.9 to 1. That's about where I normally do my compression. I don't really need to do any makeup gain because I can see by looking at the Rodecaster. But look, if I just come in here and give myself a little bit of makeup gain, then not the Rodecaster, looking at Ecamm. Now with a little bit of makeup gain, I can see how far I can really push this, and that compressor will like kick in. So you, as you see, you can add as much makeup gain as you wish, and now I am pressing the edge of the Ecamm things, and I hear an awful lot of semblance. So I don't really need any makeup gain. I'll leave that. Well, I talk loud, so I don't really need makeup gain, period. So I can leave that there. I can adjust my attack and release. And 42 milliseconds is good. Release could be a little quicker, but whatever. Let's leave it there. And then I can go into my de-esser and try to find where my whistles are. And each individual person's has different levels of whistles. If I remember correctly, I'm closer to like 4.6. And so now my whistles should sound a little bit better. But you can go in, and again, how do you find this out? You got to play with your Final Cut, or maybe look at something like Audition or Logic and see what information it's giving you as it's fixing things. Now, you come over here to my effects. So let's watch this. We got this on. I'm going to crank the pre-delay up just a smidge, and then we're going to start to mess with the reverb level. So now you can start to hear your man got some reverb in his voice. So you can give yourself just a tight, light little reverb so you sound a little different. You know, it's really up to you how you like that. You can come over here and also kick the delay. So let's adjust the pre-delay a little bit, and then let's crank it up. 1, 2, 3. Now, you guys are like, hey, let's get a slapback going so you can hear what a slapback is. This is a slapback. And then when I do it right, now you can hear much better what a slapback sounds like. Holy crap, that's delicious. One. Slapback. That's obnoxious. That's a super obnoxious. Um, mm, so we looked at media earlier, but I just wanted to see what it's like differently. I didn't load any sounds here, but that's where your sounds will load up. And then let's take a look at the samples. We have the air horn, and it might be a wee bit loud, but let's slap the air horn. Oh, so you can set it to be play pause or play stop or re-trigger or looping or bleep. For air horn, I kind of like the re-trigger. All right, and let's take a look at that. Let's go home for a second, and then do I have it not turned up? Do I have? No, it's not muted. What did I do? Ow. I had that loud in my head. I don't know how loud I made that for you guys, but let me crank that down just a little bit. Actually, that's the wrong one. Where did I put samples? I put samples on, I don't even remember, 11 and 12? Did I put sample sounds on 11 and 12? I forgot where I put it. Hold your ears for a second. We're going to do the trigger again. Right? You see how, though, yeah, it is on 11 and 12. You do see how the way I have it set, I can tap it several times. That's what that, when you tell it that you want it to like re-trigger versus play and pause or play and stop. On the music, you might do play and pause. Some things you're gonna do play and stop. No, not this. This is the left and right out. This is your stereo out kind of all the way down. That's all the way up, and I like that because you. So even on Ecamm, here, let me hit this real quick, June. What's cool about this is oh yeah, there's my 11 and 12. All right, thank you, June. Yeah, this one is cool because this master level is actually controlling the mix to Ecamm, which is cool. So you can have your individual sliders, but then you can have a group slider. This, June, is correct. As you can see, let me get it to where you can visualize. That is the right one. So and you can play twice. You can get a full stop. You can get a hard stop on that particular one, right? Let's do this. So you got it set for looping. You have it. You can set it to be a beep or bleep if you wish. So now that's just going to loop. It tells you that the file is 1 minute and 55 seconds long on the screen. Okay, now let's try something. Let's try something. I'm gonna leave this fader all the way to hell up, like we had it. I'm gonna take this out, and then I'm gonna hit home and auto mix. I'm gonna turn auto mix on. I got my mic set for high priority. Now I'm gonna play the loop and see if it starts to like chill out when I talk. All right, people. Now you guys tell me because the way I set up for my ears are going to be the same, but in theory, it should move the Mackie sound down a little bit while I'm talking to you guys. That's in theory. I can't really say if it's working that way or not because the way I have it set up for me to monitor, but I can adjust my monitor mix. And then so I'm just kind of like doing this while we're looking at the chat to see if it automatically brings it down, and you guys will let me know. And it does not. Okay, so I don't have it fully set up right, but there is something that you can do to make that work. I haven't figured it out yet. I will do that. I did see the demonstration and it did work. So cool. I'm glad Vicky was listening to what I said. So yeah. Yeah, you didn't hear the dip either. There is a way to do that. Yeah, I didn't get that far. So we'll figure it out. I do remember seeing the way he had it set up at Part of Music, but I also didn't have it set up for ducking, which Aubrey said. So over here in the setup, I think we saw auto ducking. Where was that? That was in something different. What was I looking at? But yeah, I really love this. I just like the way that you can easily get in, and I like the fact that you can see everything. I know that sounds crazy, but the ability to see everything right in the front, like right in your face, is so much better. It just it's kind of hard to describe, but it is much better. Let's go to my system. I don't want to touch that. There it is. Auto ducking. Let me turn that on and see if that does anything. Okay, let's try this again. Oh yeah, so now when I start to, oh, there it is. There's that ducking. This is one ducking time. And then when I stop talking, yeah, man. Y'all know me. All you gotta do is add yourself one of your true Trinidad voice. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We're gonna talk about your LBC branding, straight Trinidad, and then, oh, girl, come on now. You're listening to the sounds of WDOC in your mellow farming eardrums, and I'm gonna be here all damn night. So y'all just send in your requests. We are going to get into the quiet storm. We want to send this one going out to Aubrey and Michelle all the way over there in Hotlanta, Georgia. And let's get on with the show. You're listening once again to WDOC. I am your host tonight, Doc Rock, and welcome to the quiet storm. Oh, family, that shit is the bomb. That was kind of dope. So, yeah, I mean, yo, I can see I have a lot more stuff I got to play with, but my renitial. Okay, let me Michelle said, put your lighters up. Look, I still had the music playing in my ear. My initial reactions are, it's easy as pie to set up. Like, I think the RCP and the RCP Duo is dope because of the computer app and how you can do so much stuff with the computer app. But being able to not even think about a computer, being able to look at this gigantic, it's bigger than the iPad mini. This screen big than a, hold on. I'm sure it's written down somewhere. And no, I don't have my measuring tape on the nearby. I'm sure it is written down somewhere, but the screen is massive. The screen is stupid large. Let me see if I can find it. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around how massive it is, but the screen is stupid large. It sees everything on here, but it don't say how big is the damn screen. Let's just stick with stupid large. And I agree with Bicky. And a lot of people do not understand this. And Bicky, you're right. A lot of people. Oh, 10.1. Thank you, June Kang. So, yes, it is bigger than the iPad mini. A lot of people don't understand this. The advantage of these digital mixers is that the company can make adjustments at any given time. So if all of us are looking for a particular thing or something is missing, like June is saying, like June wants to see the broadcast numbers on the sliders or the broadcast numbers on the mixer screen. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. I like seeing the actual numbers myself. But the rerouting of this is incredible. You can reroute headphones like super simply. Let me go back to home real quick. And so check this out. All I need to do is press on this headphone slider, and then I have my mix mode. I can do a custom or I can do a quick mix. So let me go to custom. And now in my head, I can't hear a damn thing, right? So you can mute that particular microphone. I can grab this. I can lift that up in my head. So now all I hear is my microphone, but then maybe I want to be able to hear the samples. I can crank that up a little bit so I can hear the samples. I can adjust how loud the sample plays in my ear, right? I can come in and say if I'm going to pull something coming in off the USB, if I'm playing a file from the USB, or even bringing in that phone call, I can adjust the individual levels for my microphone. Now, why this is cool? Let's say I have a guest on, and the guest, we're recording in the same thing. This is not going to matter for recording remotely. But if Gretchen, myself, Michelle, we're all sitting around the table, I can set it up so that Gretchen will hear less of herself, because sometimes hearing yourself in the headphones throws certain people off. I could actually take that person's own sound, lower in the mix, and then bring up more. Now that doesn't affect the mix going outwards, but that does affect the mix inside their head. Some people have a hard time listening to their own voice. So Rodecaster does have custom routing as well. Just wanted to make that absolutely clear. And then you can do some weird things with like Quick Mix, where they kind of take some educated guesses for you. But there, you can even adjust the color of which headphone pad. I can put that to perps. I can put it to orang, put it back to the magenta. So you can adjust the color of the individual headphones. So like if I know I'm gonna have Aubrey on and I'm gonna have Aubrey on guest 2 or Michelle, I just hit them with that green, because they get aggro and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's something about the massive size of the screen. Like I don't think I can say it enough. Um, I will do a deeper, like, get into what are the primary differences, say, between this and the Rodecaster Pro. But it is definitely bigger. It is much bigger. Um, I have it, Paul. I just don't feel like reaching over there to grab it. I could grab it and show you the two, but I'll save that for the deeper video. It's something about the screen, bro. I mean, as a non-seeing individual, there's really, really something about this screen, and I can't wait to play around with it just a little bit more. Um, if you guys have any questions about anything, by all means, please drop them in the Chizat. And then June, little brother, we need to go to Pro City, because Tony opened up the new location of Pro Camera Hawaii, and I need to take him a grand reopening gift. And yeah, just this is going to sound weird to you people, but it sounds weird to me. So I'm going to switch to my normally setup, because my head just is sounds weird. Yes, you're muted. Now, okay, now we're back to my regularly scheduled. I can hear myself talk. Wait, do I have the speakers up in here? Let me turn this down. Yes, I do. May not need that. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, dude, the new space is so much bigger than the old Pro camera. So I got to go see my boy and just do the right thing. Um, Hold on. So yeah, really, really cool. Well, yeah, because I have it. I'm on my SM7B and I have it set up to the way we're used. You guys are used to hearing, but I will move this over, set it up properly, and then yeah, just mess around. Like, I guess the cool thing is I'm forever in here switching it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. June, I'll text you when I figure that out, because also got to get ready to get my last minute things for Japan. Yes. Hey, that's a good question. Let me undemonstrate this. Boom. There. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Let's pop over into the Discord and see what kind of fun stuff we can get in trouble to. Oh yes, and Bicky just made me remember to say this because I got to remember to say this. I did write it in the description, but I want to say it out loud so that everybody knows. Mackie gave me this, okay, but I wasn't obligated to even make this video. I wasn't obligated to do anything. I made the video because I liked it, but Mackie gave me this because I'm just a nice person. No, I don't know why they gave it to me. I was just standing there. I was talking to the marketing rep, and we were talking about mixers for streamers and where podcast people are and things like that. And he just kind of described to me what kind of thought process they put into making this and where they were going with it and how it all came about. And yeah, we just kind of hit it off because, you know, that's the advantage of going to these type of shows. Look at it. It's just really pretty, you know. Mackie wanted me to show it to you. That's why he gave it to you. Exactly. They were like, here's something else for your brother to try to steal from you. That's okay. I am pretty positive at some point in time I stole some stuff from June. So we probably even. Maybe a little bit. Even every company is allowed one mistake. Shut up, Paul. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on Tuesday. We're going to pop into the Discord, do a little after kicking around. I'm going to attempt to plug this guy into the Ethernet and see if I can get the NDI side doing what it's supposed to do. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Like, absolutely love it. I love the size. I can't say enough about the big ass screen because I be looking at my little Duo, which I love for the size. I be looking at my Duo with that look like, yo, I can't see that. I was gonna get one of those lentricular things that you use for, you know, you see people reading the Sunday paper with. I was gonna get one of those bad boys for it. Yeah, I got cables. It's just in the back room. I didn't feel like going back to get it. And the other thing I have connected, which I'm using the spare one, I can't really, A, unplug it, and B, can't talk about it yet. It's still in quiet mode, but it's coming. Of course, you come in the office, so you'll see it. Yeah, this is cool. Anyway, gang, I'll see you guys in the Discord. And the rest of you folks, I'll see you on Tuesday. No, Bicky, in the Doc Rock Discord. This is Saturday. I'm on my day off. I wore this hat specifically for you, by the way. Oh my God, today was great. Today is a good day. It is a good day. Man, there was one other thing I wanted to tell you guys. Oh, I know what it was. I'll probably make a quick little introduction via the newsletter. So hopefully you're on the newsletter. But Meta just dropped a brand new, it's not even a chat bot. It's hard to describe. It's called Seamless, and it's speech to speech, speech to text, text to speech. It has all kind of translation capabilities, but it is absolutely freaking incredible. I was playing with it, and it's cool. Let me give you a basic look at it, but I'll go deeper in the newsletter, but I just wanted you to see it. So it's called Seamless MT4. It's a multimodal translation model. And what's super sick about this thing is if you come down here, actually, I made a screenshot of what I want to show you, which I thought was just the business. Like, it's absolutely dope. Is that one it? Yes, here it is. This thing is legit. Okay. So you can input either speech or text, and it will do speech-to-speech translation, speech-to-text translation, text-to-speech translation, text-to-text translation, and automatic speech recognition. So, for instance, I could go to this multimodal thing, and I can say, Chorungdak입니다, and it will translate that to tell you that my name is Doc. Like, it's really cool. So any of you guys that are multilingual, and it has a massive amount of languages, you can just try speak at it in your native tongue, and it will translate it to whatever other native tongue you want it to do. And there's a demo on their site, so you can go and play with it. But newsletter people, you'll get an update on this soon, because I've been messing with it. It's super fun. It's kind of cool. This comes out just in time for me to go to Japan. I mean, I don't kind of really need it, but it would be neat to just test it out on my friends as I go to hang out with some of my homies over there. Anyway, we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Everybody else, let's pop in the old Discord. And thank you, Mackie, for giving me this DLZ Creator to play with. I got a lot of playing around to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I appreciate you guys. And then, yeah, I'll see you guys on the flip sizzle. Peace out. A-Town Stump.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine.